Hello and welcome to another CBits Tech video. In today's video we're going to go through these more modern tapes and some of these older tapes that I found while I was looking for my Lord of the Rings audio collection a couple of weeks ago. So in the video before this, which is up there and in the description, I was looking at my audio collection, my audio book collection of Lord of the Rings, and a couple of the bits of memorabilia I bought when it came out in the early 2000s. But while I was looking for those audio books, I was off sick. I had the flu and I couldn't see anything, and I wanted something to listen to, so I was looking for Lord of the Rings. And when I got those out, also there was two other boxes of audio cassettes and some blank cassette boxes which haven't been integrated into my collection now. So I'm going to go through those now so I can put them all away nicely in my organised cassette collection. So these just seem to be blank boxes, spare boxes. Who's this? Ooh, Heartbreakers. Right, I would not be listening to this nowadays, but I don't know where the cassette is, but that's no loss. Some of these I will skip over because they might contain some personal information which I don't want on YouTube. Look at that beastie. Reinigungscassette. Cleaning cassette. Made in Western Germany. That's how old this is, back when we had the Berlin Wall. Oh, that's another rabbit hole now. So I'm thinking, oh, I need to look into that. I remember when the wall came down. So there's no slip sheet in this. I can put my fingers through straight to that cassette. So this was a kind of like a webbing that we used to have, and it was slightly let's see if I can get some focus there, slightly abrasive, if you like, to wipe off the dirt that had gone onto your cassette head and your pinch roller and your capstan. Although I'm not sure it would have been any good at getting dirt off the pinch roller and capstan because it flowed through there without rubbing against it. It was just pulled through it. But there's probably some instructions with this and maybe some cleaning fluid. It does look a bit like it's been printed on as cheaply as possible. I would not run this through my cassette heads now, through my cassette decks. What I would do is I'd use a cotton bud and some cleaning fluid. So I will never use this, and it really is hard to move as well. So I don't think this will be very good. It's okay for collectors. Maybe someone had one back in the day, but I don't think this was mine. What I think has happened, some of these cassettes are my wife's, but they used to belong to my wife's parents. In the 70s and 80s, I would guess these came from. So it's probably my wife's father's, some of my wife's father's cassettes or mother's cassettes. Oh, there's another head cleaning cassette, TDK. This one looks a bit more modern. Let's have a look. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so it's only going to work one way through, but I wonder why. Ooh, that's a funny colour, isn't it? Well, you can see like a little zoom in. You can see little particles on that. I wonder what they're from. Oh, it won't move. Oh, it's because I'm doing it the wrong way. Maybe it's just dust and stuff that came off the cassette. Those particles only seem to be in a bit of the cassette that was exposed. So that's the beginning of the cassette. Funny colour though, isn't it? What's it feel like? Yeah, kind of matte, a bit like paper. Let's have a look and see what the instructions are. There we go. The head of your cassette player is easily contaminated by the lubricants used in old magnetic tape and by loose oxide debris rubbed off the surface of the tape during use. You can pause the video, read the rest of that. I'll have a quick read now. Let's summarise that. So they're suggesting using the cassette head cleaner after every 10 plays of a normal cassette, so that'd be 10 sides I guess. Put it in the cassette player, run it to the end and then rewind it, and then when you've used it 24 times, each time you use it, tick off a box. When you've used it 24 times, then throw it away and get another one because it's covered in dirt. which makes sense, but I don't know anyone who actually ticked off all of these and then threw it away afterwards, because it's probably quite expensive to buy a cassette head cleaner and you didn't want to throw them away, so you'd reuse them, probably putting more dirt onto your equipment. But very nice. Is there a date on that? No, no date. So next up, some empty boxes. So that's a Sony FX, a standard box for standard sort of low entry level. That's the word I'm looking for. Unused J card, which is nice. So I'm keeping some of the boxes, but again I'm running out of space. I've got so many cassettes, so many boxes. I'm going to skip the back of that because it's got some personally identifiable information on it. So my guess is this is a late 80s or early 90s cassette, just by the information that's on it. Another box was a Sony, Bush SF90. I've got some of those actually somewhere. Oh, look at that. That's a bit more vintage. That's 70s, I think. So Sony Auto-Sensor. What's that mean? Let's have a look. Let's take a closer look at this. Mantovani film themes. So I don't think this is something my wife had. She might have listened to it, but she sort of inherited it over the years. Let's have a look at the cassette, the tape itself. A few little abrasion marks on there. Not too bad, but what's this sensor? Ah, right, okay, my word, look at that. That's a silver foil sensor. So it's on the leader. At the beginning of the leader is a silver foil sensor. Now I don't know why it would be there. Hi, it's me from editing here. I found out that in the 60s cassettes were used mainly for recording and playing back of voice. And some Sony shoebox recorders could detect that foil when it got to the end of the side and play a loud tone to let you know you'd run out of tape. So you could switch the tape over or switch to the other side. And if you want a demonstration of that, you can have a look at the video that I'll link to in the description box of this video. I've lifted the lid because the shiny cover on this cassette box was affecting the focus. Oh man, look at this Lahama Cassette. Okay, so James lost, so I think this was probably my mother-in-law's, my wife's mum's cassette. Hi-fi low noise, that's always a bad sign if it's got that on it. Okay, it's not been rewound. That's a very light colour cassette. Don't look too bad though. Let's wind it on a little bit. Oh, I wonder how good that would be to record on. I think what I'll do is I've already set this aside, the one with the silver foil on it. It's always a rabbit hole when I do cassettes because I want to find out about them. So I might find out about that, do some research online and find out how that sensor thing works. But I probably won't do a video on it, just for my own personal interest. And I wonder what this would sound like if I recorded onto it. I can't stand James Loss, so I won't be listening to that. But I wonder if it might be... That's not a J card. That's just a piece of paper that's been cut up and put in there as a J card. Maybe it's a J card. No, it's not been factory cut, but it's proper card. So it's card with lines on it. Not original. Yeah, I wonder what they will sound like. The problem is my ears are not very good anymore, so I can't really tell how good a cassette sounds. That is a lovely cassette. I've found some Ampex ones before, and I think they're 70s, maybe earlier than the 70s. This one looks a bit more modern. It's certainly in better condition than some of the other ones I've got. It's a screwed shell. So look at the cassette. Now, my wife tells me that before I met her, her dad was relatively well off, so typically would have bought good quality equipment. So I don't know whether Ampex was a well-known brand, but I like that cassette. I'm likely, if she doesn't mind, if she doesn't want the recordings on it, I'm likely to use that because I enjoy using cassettes because of the way they look. So there's some ballet there, and I know that this cassette was used by my wife's mum. So is there anything on there? Let's see what else is in there. Let's get the cassette out. Oh, so there's another Ampex one. Look at that. Oh, I love that styling. I love this texture on the shell. Yep, I can't show you that side, but that side's obviously the A side. Let's have a look at the J card. Nice shiny, like a metallic label, Ampex 370. So that's their catalogue number. So there must have been a catalogue of different cassettes they could buy. Assembled in Mexico. So Ampex Corporation, Redwood City, California, and the zip code. Assembled in Mexico. Right, yeah, you won't be able to get anything assembled in Mexico if old Trump has his way. Yeah, I might edit out that political bit. Now, I don't think I can show you these cassettes on this side because I think I put them in there like that because they do have lots of personal information on it, but let's have a go. James Last again, Beach Party. Oh, just for old time's sake, I might listen to some of these. Look at that. What is this cassette? A C60 LN. Okay, there we go. Okay. Look at that though. Beautiful. Amazing. Unusual. I've not seen that. So this must be 70s, I would think. Lovely. Oh, right. You can probably tell by the logo. People will know. All right. I don't know much about this. I just like looking at the stuff and I hardly ever do any research for it. But that TDK logo will indicate what period in time this TDK was manufactured. If you know, stick it in the comments because I do read all the comments. I'm a bit behind on replying, but as the channel gets bigger and bigger, I don't think I'm going to get a chance to reply to all the comments, but I will try. It's been a very busy period, very busy year for me. So that one, hang on, what's that? That's a C60. Yep, take two. I can't show you the back of this cassette because of the information on it. But this one's a C90, this one's a C60. So they use different colours. I've seen that before on some cassettes. Different colours for different lengths of cassette, just to make them easy to identify. But they're only easy. I guess the J card in them would have been the same colour. Otherwise, you'd literally got to pull the cassette out of its storage to find out what length it is. So James Last, I might listen to some of that, but I've got a funny feeling I'll only be listening to about 30 seconds of it before it drives me insane. Ooh, look at that. I've seen one of these before. Yes, so there's no identifiable information there, so I can show you this. What's that? The Pedlans. Don't know what that is. Oh, Simon and Garfunkel. Look at that, Maxell LN. I think I've had some of these before, but they're ones I got from someone else. Low noise, that's what LN stands for. So they're ones that, these come from the family, whereas the other ones I've got probably came from cassettes I was given by strangers or bought on eBay. So maybe I'll keep all these together. Maybe I won't integrate these into my collection of acquired cassettes. I'll just leave them as family cassettes, if you see what I mean. That's what that is. But that is one of those J cards that I found when I was looking through my BBC Model B microcomputer from the 80s. The software I had for it, there'll be a video up there for it and in the description box if you want to have a look at that. So yeah, Mantovani. Classical music and Strauss waltzes. Okay, my wife was into classical music back in the early days when we got together. No, we weren't alive back when classical music was a thing, but maybe she's just a bit more cultured than I am. And indeed, my wife can boogie, but I can't. So there we go. Adrian Mole, there we go. So that will date this. Power of Love. Oh my God, I can't stand that song. Flash Gordon. That's a spelling error there. Pinball Wizard. Oh, cool. She's got a cassette player downstairs on a really nice Prom. Oh, that must be something off the radio, I think. There's a really nice Sony 333 or 373. Again, there'll be a video up there for that, which I gave to her with a cassette deck, which is a Denon one. And I kind of regret giving it to her. She does use it when she's working quite a lot, when she's not listening to the radio on the computer. But I kind of regret giving it to her because it's a really nice hi-fi, and I'd like to be using it myself. But it's just downstairs where she can use it. Just another lovely Maxell LN C60. I might, oh yeah, it's coming up to Christmas. I'm shooting this on Saturday the 21st, and I haven't done any wrapping. I've still got a load of stuff I need to do before Christmas. December's always a really busy month for me, but I just wanted to get some videos shot, so I've got something to post over the Christmas period in case people are bored with the same old stuff on TV and are too full to do anything active. Love these. I bought a lot of these Scotch Cassettes, BX 90s. I think they were fairly cheap and they were fairly good quality. Good enough for what I needed anyway. Look at the J card. So pause that if you want. Okay, moving on. I think I've only got one of these cassettes in here. Now I did have these cassettes out sometime probably in the last 6 years, because this plastic thing that keeps them all in position is gone all brittle, and I put some post-it notes on the outside of the box, as you might have seen, saying make sure that it's full up on there, keep it flat. If I put all the cassettes in there and none in there and then picked it up with the handle, then the weight of the cassettes would break the plastic, which is just the plastic inserts, but then it renders the cassette box less good. Yeah, there we go. So I already knew that I didn't have that. So that cassette's got lost somewhere. There's the other one. There's a track listing. You can pause it if you want to have a look. If not, we're going to move on. Have a look for, oh, look, we've got some labels there. Those are TDKs. Ooh, what's these ones? Let's have a look. Oh, they're camcorder labels. Mini DV. They're mini DV labels, which is convenient because I've got a mini DV recorder up in the cupboard that these were in. I've got to sort all this lot out. Oh, don't need to be sorting stuff out. Oh my god! Right, okay. Okay, without giving too much away, before I was 18, I worked in a pub and a restaurant back in the days when you could do that. And before that, me and my mate did some part-time DJ stuff. He was really the DJ and I wasn't. And I bought off of a DJ that worked in a restaurant that was attached to a pub I worked in. I bought an old set of decks and it was only mono. So this is some stuff on those decks, I would have taken the probably headphone out and then played that into a cassette recorder somehow and recorded some mixes. And it wouldn't surprise me if I mixed Thriller and Ghostbusters and a few of those things. There's some 12-inch records back in the day. They unfortunately got lost. Most of those 12 inches I had, and a lot of singles got lost over time. There we go. So that's the inlay card, which is a W.H. Smith replacement inlay card. That's the original from Scotch. Love the colour scheme on this. It's probably, the colour scheme was probably a bit out of date when I bought these. Made in Italy. How about that? Oh, hang on one second. Yeah, this is probably, so this I linked earlier on to the BBC Model B microcomputer software that I've got. I did a video on it, and that's what I linked to in the description. And this was a project I was working on at the time, which wouldn't fit onto one program. There was only 32K of storage space, and a megabyte is 1,000 kilobytes, and a gigabyte is 1,000 megabytes. So you can see how little that actually was for code, for computer code back in the day. And I must have used this cassette to record that, but then later on recorded over it with some deck stuff. Yeah, so the BBC Model B predates the DJ stuff I did, I think. And there's little tear off strips there, which you can then slip in at the top at the, so you'd, whatever your genre of music was, you tear off that slip and you put it out there so it face outwards, so you know what genre it was, which I never used. And there it was folk and dance there, and that is how you then store all your cassettes. Very good. Oh, look at that. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Nice white leader on that one. Oh, here we go. So this is an older cassette, and I would have used it for the chart show at the end of 1985 and the chart show at the end of 1987. And 2018 was when I had these out. So that's what, it's the end of 2024 at the moment, so 6 years ago. So I'll put a date on there. That's handy actually. You stick a date on every note you make, and then you can you don't have to remember when you made the note. You can see it. Okay, a little bit of magical editing here. Take 2. There we go. 2018 is when I checked this. December 1982. Both sides chart shows from radio. Oh, that might be good to listen to. Funnily enough, I watched on BBC iPlayer the Top of the Pops from 1981, and it really wasn't that good. ACDC. Must be my wife's. Can't imagine it was her mum's. Voice of Stereo. Odd. Can't show the other side though. 80s chart show. So these, I don't know who would have recorded these. And I could probably now, if I listen to this, so that was 6 years ago probably I went through this box, just had a quick listen to them. I could probably go through this box now and have a pretty good guess, judging by what tracks, what tunes are on those chart shows. I could probably have a pretty good guess as to which year it is. Excuse any blank bit there, but again, I can't show you stuff that's got personally identifiable information on it. Right, Enya. God, I really liked Enya back in the day. Oh man, look at that. So that's a link to my past financial services and their regulation, taxation and social security. So, I don't know what they were, but obviously recorded over that. So that would have been in the 90s, and that would have been whatever year that I was into Enya. Really, really good voice. But now it's a bit slow for me, a bit melancholy. As you get older, you want to listen to something, well I do, I want to listen to something a bit more upbeat. But really interesting art, interesting music. Driving music. Okay, look at this. Oh, I do love these Memorex cassettes. So these ones I know are mine, although I don't know where I would have got a Memorex cassette from. I probably bought it actually. It would have been in the 90s, I think. Passed my driving test in 1988. Remember the exact date. I got a car a year or so later, probably. I think I spent about £180 on my first car. Doesn't sound a lot nowadays. It wasn't worth a lot either, it was rubbish. But it got me my first batch of insurance, and that's what mattered. TDK. Oh, Christmas songs. Put it outside, go listen to that. Bearing in mind it's Christmas, 21st of December as I record this. Voice recording I've done for education. Don't know what that is. C10, so that would be audio visual services. So I wonder if that is for people who had vision problems. C10 would normally have been a computer cassette, especially made for professional studio recording. So my guess is this is for vision impaired people, maybe. Project 14, is that my handwriting? Maybe. So in that case it could be, actually that is not my handwriting. And I don't think that's my wife's either. So I think I know who it belongs to, but I'm not going to say. But it says side 1 car. Okay, I'm going to be listening to that, find out what's on that. I do like listening to old cassettes, find out what's on them. Yeah, what's there? Okay, let's move on. So, God, I was looking for Jean-Michel Jarre the other day while I was working. So I wonder what the quality on that will be. Oh, look at that. Nice inlay card. So yeah, so these are going to be, this is going to be added to my other stack of black cassette storage boxes, all the same. This one's in quite good condition actually, apart from that's come off. But then I'll put all of these and I'll store things by artist or by genre, or if they're playlists, I store them by the playlist name, if you like. So something like this would be synthesizers. That will be stored under S for synthesizer greatest, because it will be various artists. So this sort of thing I can pop on while I'm working, just to have a listen to it. Obviously that needs to be rewound to pack that tape properly. So let's pop that there. Sacred Love, that's an SACD, so a Super Audio CD. I think it's the only SACD I own, and that's on a nice cassette. That's a Type II TDK. But it might not have been recorded on Type II settings, I don't know. So it used to be Blondie, which would have been my wife, and then I recorded over it with a CD. So I bought the CD, but because I didn't have a CD player in the car, recorded it onto cassette, and then I could listen to it in the car on my cassette player. Madness, brilliant band. Oh right, okay. So this was 90s as well, because FP1 stands for Financial Planning Certificate Module Level 1, professional qualifications when I was a financial advisor. So I probably had some study written material on that, and I'd listen to it in the car. Then when I passed it, I then recorded over it. Raintown and The World Knows Your Name, When the World Knows Your Name, are albums. I've got those still on vinyl, and I listened to those the other day. Cassette is still slightly more convenient. I have a Soundburger video linked up there, the yellow Soundburger, but if there's a track I don't like, I've got to skip the track. Whereas, and then you've got to lift up the needle. I know this is a first world problem. Got to lift up the needle and plonk it down in the right track. Whereas if I listen on my Panasonic, where the remote is there, just under one of my screens, if I don't like the track, I can press one button and the automatic music search will skip to the next track. I think this is 1984, 5 or 6 TDK. Other people will know better than me, but I'm getting there, I suppose. Oh, it's a 120. Oh, don't put that in your cassette player. It's a 120. Look at how much cassette tape is on that. Cameos. I still listen. Oh, I still goes. This would be quite a good one. Ziggy Ziggy Sputnik. What's that saying? It's not useful awful, I don't think. Alright. Oh, I really like this style of cassette. This is, I think, an earlier TDK. Let's get some focus on it. Beautiful cassettes. Might not even be the right cassette for the box. Thinking about it, but yeah, probably is. Well, 5 Star was, they sounded a bit like the Jacksons, but they were a British version, 5 brothers and sisters, in the 80s. And I remember, if I can find a screenshot of it, I had a Panasonic, and I'll put it on now, which was really heavy, personal cassette player, personal stereo. And I used to listen to this when I cycled from my mum's house to the club I used to work at, when I was probably about 17. And this is what I can remember listening to this on a set of over-the-ear, you know, proper 80s style headphones, I think it was, in the wind and the rain on the way to work. And that place, standing in the DJ booth, I wasn't the DJ there, but standing in the DJ booth with one of the main speakers above my head is what I put my tinnitus down to at the moment. So yeah, House Martins. I listened to some House Martins stuff the other day. That's a good, I wouldn't call it a novelty record, but it's like a feel-good record. It's not really poppy, but it's good if you can get that. It's worth listening. Find your streaming stuff, and it's sort of happy songs. Oops, that's that on. Yeah, just a standard TDK. Problem is with these, you can't quite get them out. You can't get the last cassette out. Rock the World 5-star. So again the W.H. Smith J card. Ooh, I've stuck a label over that, so I think that might be a label from a later TDK. Oh God, I love these tapes, really do. C60. I'll listen to some of that when I'm working next time. Oh, history. I've got this history. This really big. I think I've got the DVD of this album. Another Type II TDK. A quick look at the J card. To cut out some audio there, that'll be allowed. Yeah, not a very exciting J card, to be honest. No information on it. I wish the information was still on these things. Another way to display your cassettes I found, which is quite nice, is just with the right cassette box. Open it up like that. You can put them on your display them like that. Is it just me that likes looking at cassettes? Not a weird fetish thing. It's just I just like the way they look. Mid-yaw. I never really got into mid-yaw, but I must have been into it enough, into his music enough to put it on to a cassette. And level 42, quite like level 42. Damn fine cassettes. So I probably bought a 5-pack of these cassettes. I think there was a D60 in there as well. That's cheaper I could get it without spending too much at once, if you see what I mean. So I've already been through these, obviously. So we've got here, oh, this is Simply Red. Let's say that. Yeah, Simply Red. Sony HD-F90. HD-F90, should I say. Recorded, oh look, God, how organised was I back then? 1992, 32 years ago, Jesus. What's this? Oh, Hits 55, so I've got that on CD, and obviously I'll put it, oh yeah, disc 1. Another Type 2, oh, Type 2 box, is it? No, Type 2 cassette, that's right. Yeah, so my musical tastes have changed. I don't like compilation albums now, because there's songs I like and songs I don't like. Due South, that was a TV series, that was really good back in the day. And that's the soundtrack from Due South. Yeah, all these are recordings from CD. Obviously I've recorded them so I can listen in the car. Genesis. So reuse. So I've listened. Now I'm going to reuse the cassette. But now I've got more cassettes than I could ever use, I'm sure. Oh, that's quite a good album, that. Living in a Box. Okay, I can't show you the posting note on the cassette. But yes, this is one I'm going to re-record on. I've put on there, keep for nostalgia. But I must be keeping the cassette for nostalgia because the music that's on there I don't like. It's okay, I've written on there it's okay to use it, but on the other posting note I said keep for nostalgia. So I've got a funny feeling this was the cassette or a cassette that my family owned in the 70s, but I don't think that's the writing for my parents, so I'm very confused about that. But it definitely says that me and the wife don't want the music or the cassette, so I'm going to reuse that cassette just because I like the cassette. So I'll reuse the cassette and put something more to my taste on it. Oh, Best of Singing the Police. Oh my god, this tape is in poor condition. It was recorded over in 2020 and is still bad, so I'm going to probably get rid of that. I've got some, I think I've got 1 or 2 of these unopened. So it is a screwed shell. The shell's in good condition, the tape's had it. So I might put that in my parts bin. Dolby bit a bit chewed up. It wouldn't surprise me if this is a bootleg looking at it now. I probably didn't know it at the time. Now you go to the market and you buy some cassettes because they were cheap, but then not realising that they're actually bootleg. I know it's naive of me to think of it, but we didn't have the information that we had back then. This looks like a genuine one though. Reminds me of a shop I used to work in, would play this. Oh, maybe it's from that shop. Yeah, the tapes had it. I don't know what to do with these. Hits of the 80s. I don't think this is a very good... oh, it plays OK on my Denon. which I don't use my Denon anymore because it's not working properly. Okay, so I'm going to listen to that. Maybe it is a good cassette. Look at that styling. Very 80s. Oh, Insignia. That was, oh, I used to use Insignia. It was a range of toiletries. So there was an antiperspirant or a body spray. There was an aftershave, which I used to use. And there was also, that was back in the day where I used to use a razor, electric razor, battery operated razor. And they had like a pre-shave, which you put on your skin, which was essentially a lubricant for your skin to let the razor slide across your skin a bit better. I remember that. I can almost remember the smell. That's actually pretty good. That's a good selection of tracks on that. I'll enjoy listening to that. Okay, this is take 2 for this because I've just seen something which is really quite amusing to me. So in that one is only some Italian language course cassettes, so that will be the end of this video. But I thought I haven't looked at the J card of the cassette, so I thought I'd have a look at the cassette. Yeah, nothing special there. But then I opened up the J card and I thought, well, that's thick, and I've opened it up and look at this. This is the Insignia program. And my guess is this cassette came in one of those Christmas sets you get, Christmas sets of toiletries with all the various Insignia stuff. And I probably had all of this in the set. I do remember using this. I think there was like a deodorant, like a stick deodorant. So let's have a read. Life is busy. You're working hard and playing fast. Things are coming together, and in a quick change, quick fire world, the one thing you want to feel good about is the way you look and smell. That's where Insignia comes in. Insignia's all-over body program is a total range of toiletries with a fresh, subtle fragrance of Insignia. Why use your girlfriend's deodorant and the aftershave you got for Christmas, never your favourite anyway, and the supermarket shampoo when you can coordinate your grooming from the top of your head to the tips of your toes? First things first, kickstart yourself into the day in the shower or wallow in the bath. Insignia shower gel feels just as good in both. And don't forget the shampoo. It's mild, so you can wash your hair as often as you need. Shave close with the help of Insignia's rich moisturising cream shave, and follow that with a new pre-electric lotion to make those bristles stand up. And yes, I did use that stuff. Now you're clean and ready for the day. Hit your body with a splash-on lotion and choose from spray deodorant, stick deodorant or ultra dry antiperspirant to protect against perspiration, wetness and odour. It's the all over body program. It will leave you feeling clean and smelling fresh and works all day every day. That is a blast from the past. I'm pretty sure I had the set that this cassette came in. Probably a birthday present from my wife, who now I realise thought I smelt before that. Oh well, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.